Into the entrepreneurship stuff because that's mainly what I want to focus on. I do want to talk a little bit about the music, and I want to talk about the album Coney Island. Nick Speed produced it, which, by the way, I had not heard. That this was my introduction to Nick.
Ooh.
He's a dope producer. I know. I'm way behind.
Yeah.
My favorite song is 845. It's crazy.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, that's my favorite one on the album. Because
that.
it's a vibe. I was listening to it. It's a little long. I listened to it 3 times to get here. That was it. That's all I needed.
Yes, all you need.
Right? But like, you know, quick jog down 94 when I was here. But it's a vibe. Like, you know, tell a little bit of the story of that album, how it came together, because it's a concept.
Yeah.
About you guys a night out, right?
Yep, night
Coney
out.
Island, yeah.
Yeah, it's so the story we still might do it. It was supposed to be like a movie to go along with it.
Yeah.
But it was just taking too long for the album to come out, and it became more than what it was supposed to be. But that particular song, so the whole thing is a night out. A kid from where I'm from, out that way, out in the suburbs, coming down to Detroit to party,
Right.
or have just kind of hang out,
Right.
and then the crazy things that happen, some of the things that could happen on the way.
Right.
So it's it's 2 storylines in the album, which is a little too deep for the average person to get. But if you just listen to the music, it's a story, right? That is literally in the music. So like if you take out the skits and everything, you can hear a storyline of like things that happen, things the ups and downs, right? Then there's the actual storyline of going and kind of hanging out.
Right,
you know
the obvious one.
The obvious one.
Yeah, the one that you hear, like getting out of the car. All right, oh, now we're gonna hit this spot, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So and it all came about during the pandemic. So it was that was a pandemic album, and the things that the music is about happened in the pandemic.
Okay.
Right. So if you talk about Yakistan, right? Those are real stories of things that happen in Pontiac, murders. You know what I'm saying? Like things that are going on and people talking and it was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? I'm like I'm far removed from that now.
Right.
But it's just something, an observation. 846. 840 is it 846?
Yeah, 846.
846. Man, my mind is kind of crazy. But 846 is a story of is for George Floyd, right?
Oh.
And what it is like I was getting into house music. When I was a kid, I hated house music, but as an adult, I'm getting into loving house music, almost infatuated with it.
Interesting.
And I want to get into it as far as like I play it when I DJ, but I don't consider myself a house DJ.
What is it about house music that?
It's just something, it's the vibe.
Yeah, it that song is a vibe.
Yeah,
like, that's by far.
So as a creative, you can't tell me what I can do. I don't like, not saying you, but
Anyone.
you as a consumer or as a
Absolutely.
listener, you can't tell me what I can do, right? So you can't tell me that I can't make a rock and roll song just because you've only heard hip hop from me.
Right.
So I was like, yo, I love house music, and Speed was like, let's make a house record.
Yeah.
And what it was is that like at the end of that, when the song just kind of stops.
Right.
That's how long the cop's knee was on George Floyd's neck.
Oh shit.
Right.
No way.
So that's at the end when they got beat up by the police.
Yeah.
The kids. He was like, man, that's crazy. That song is just as long as my knee was on George Floyd's neck.
Intentional.
That was intentional. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was just it's just things like that, but that was during the pandemic.
Right.
You know?
So does each song kind of have that kind of, you know, meaning beneath it? Does every single song have a lot
every
behind it like that?
Every song.
Yeah.
Maybe not that or to that extent.
Right.
But like you know, and there's every song has a story. Even if the song isn't a story.
Right.
Every song has a story. I was just out in LA a couple of days ago, talking to my man KT because we're about to actually Rose Gold 2 is pretty much finished. We got to do some cleaning up on it or whatever. But we just had just regular conversation. We weren't even working on music, and you know he just had a daughter, and we just were just talking about life. My daughters are 16 and 12, and his is like 3.5 minutes old. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he was like, you know, he was saying that he's in a space where he's like realizing that everything that we do as a creative, all we're doing is documenting. You know, we're just documenting. And some people that are following from the beginning to now see a different story than the people that kind of was like jump in here. And even if you jump in here and go back, you're going to see the story different or feel the story different because you weren't there when this was happening.
Right.
And that stuck with me because that's what this whole album, that's what that whole album is. It's just you know, so like even the song with Boldy, right?
Boldy James, James. Great Detroit rapper that not many people know about.
Incredible.
You know what I mean?
Incredible.
He's below the radar.
Yeah. It's because he's so chill, man. He kind of do his thing, and he's amazing in his space.
But he also doesn't need he doesn't need all that attention.
He don't need all the hoopla.
He's so confident in his own MC ability. That's my favorite part about him. Is he just knows how to rap so well. He knows he doesn't need any validation from the Fade or from Rolling Stone. He just raps.
Because he gets it from Alchemist. He gets it from Jay-Z.
Like, right, exactly. He's connected more than people think he is.
Yeah. But yeah, so that song was like, when the pandemic hit, you know, it was just like, my mind was like, I felt like, I've never been to jail, but it kind of just, I was just stuck. I didn't want to write no music. I didn't want to. And then my man Oob from Pontiac did like this thing called Beat 16 where you place random producers with random MCs, and it kind of got my juices going.
Yeah. And
then so I did one, and then I was like, yo, I want to do another one. And he was like, well, we got too many MCs and not enough producers. So I was like, all right, well, I'll do my own. Right. Now I'm in the zone. I'm in the game now, right?
Sure.
And then, so Speed sent me, I hit Speed up, my friends that make beats.
Right.
And I hit Speed up, and I'm like, man, send me some beats, man. I'm about to just cut some verses to him and put them out, do a video, put them out. And he sent like 20 beats. And then the last one was, you know, I'm listening to it, and I'm like, oh, somebody rapping on this. I'm like, this is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, it's dope.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, it gets to like the second verse, and I'm like, dog, that's me.
Right. Oh, for
and
real.
I was like, so I hit him up like, what is this?
Right.
When did I record it? And he was like, man, you recorded in like 2014. We were gonna do an album. It was like me and Nick Speed were gonna do an album, and all it, cause you know, Detroit has this hip hop side and this street side, right?
Yeah.
And it's like it was separate at a time. So I was gonna do an album with Speed, like a super hip hop album, and the only features were gonna be like street guys.
Yeah.
So like Mac Nichols and Payroll and
yeah.
you know, these guys just, you know, and then Helluva was gonna like help him produce it, or like,
that'd be crazy.
And it just didn't, and I went in and recorded the song.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I never heard it again.
Yeah.
And I completely forgot, like it was completely taken off my brain.
Right.
So then when I heard it, I'm like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So then I was like, he was like, man, you know, we was gonna do an album. We should just finish it. Let's go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then, so that was the first song of the album. But Boldy wasn't on the song. He ended up, you know, kind of rewriting the verses a little bit to update it.
Right. Sure.
And then got him on there. But like even the story about that is just kind of wild.
He's crazy.